Hello, Ghaniji, shall I start?
Yes, you can start, sir.
Okay. Okay. First, good morning. My name is Sanyog Bhattrai. I'm a faculty consultant at CPSC. So I'm currently I'm speaking from Nepal. So I hope everyone good morning. So respected Director General, Kolmo Plan Staff College, Dr. Raman Lamisane, and my colleague from CPSC, and Mr. Brad Carr, and distinguished participant. First, let me welcome you all to this grand webinar on development of learning management system. So, as you know, the importance of LMS is in today's world is very, very important. Without that, I think we cannot survive in a general education or TVET education. In both, the role of LMS is very, very, very important. This is for teachers as well as for the learner. The learning management system is plays a very vital role. Without it, today's education is not possible. So that's why CPSC has organized this webinar. So today we have two speaker actually presentation. This webinar is supervised by the Director General of CPSC, Dr. Raman Lamisane, and we have two speakers. One is my colleague, and he's from CPSC, Mr. Abdul Ghani Rajput. He's from Pakistan, and we have a very renowned personality from Australia, Mr. Brad Kerr. So let me introduce Mr. Ghani will introduce himself, but let me introduce Mr. Brad Kerr. Mr. Brad Kerr originates from Australia and has a double degree in geographical information science and geography. He has been providing training and solution to organizations around the world for over 30 years, and is a result-driven professional with a solid, verifiable career track record for successfully providing innovative educational solution to both government and private institutions. He is an exceptional communicator with strong negotiation, problem resolution, and client needs assessment aptitude. Brad has traveled over 45 countries and has a keen interest in making educational institutions and industry work closer together. So we have a synergy in employable skills. Brad worked with LabTech. As you know, he's from the LabTech, a very renowned company. Brad worked with LabTech, is in pioneering the intersection of digital learning and 21st century skill with vocational technical education. This area has a great potential to improve the dynamics of teaching and learning for skills, as well as reducing the cost of TVET education around the world by virtualizing part of the learning process. LabTech's virtual TVET approach has the potential to improve the dynamic learning and to lower the cost tremendously for technical and vocational education. So we are very fortunate today that we are going to listen to Mr. Brad Kerr. So without wasting any time, so first let me invite Mr. Abdul Ghani Rajput to deliver your presentation.
Thank you, Sanyog-ji. Thank you very much. Dear distinguished participants, good morning to all of you. And a very good warm welcome to CPSC webinar. As just introduced by Engineer Sanyog, that today we have two speakers. One is myself, Abdul Ghani Rajput, another is from Australia, Mr. Brad. So hopefully this webinar will be very interesting for you. CPS is trying hard to arrange capacity building program its member countries TVET professionals. So for in order to achieve this objective, we are trying to organize webinar, and we are expecting that we are providing some of the unique knowledge for you to develop your capacity as well as the learner capacity. Let me little bit introduce myself. As you know my name, all of you, I am currently working in CPSC as faculty specialist. My background is from IT related. Before that, I was working with GIZ Pakistan for 5 years as technical advisor for HRD and CBTA. And before the GIZ, I was working as a director in Sintepta, Pakistan. So that is my little bit biography. So before wasting the further time, I'm going to share my screen to share my presentation. Sanyogji, is it visible?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet, not yet. Yeah, visible.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, right. Make it a full screen.
Okay, thank you, Sanyogji. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay.
All right, Engineer Sanyog mentioned that the learning management system is very important for the for both of the trainer as the learner perspective. So we have arranged many webinar regarding as well as the online regional program in the in-country program. We shared many times how to set up a learning management system for an TVET institution or maybe an individual trainer. We have shared you multiple times. This time we are providing you overview of the other another learning management system. So we will discuss in detail. So these are the points to be addressed in my presentation. Number one is the introduction, then followed by what is technology, then the importance of the TVET, which means that what is the role of the TVET with regard to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then after that, I will share the 3 important pillars of the learning management system, then the Moodle learning management system, Blackboard learning management systems, question answer, and practical demonstration of a learning management system. So these are the important points we are going to discuss today. So we know that we are in that era of the 21st century, and often we regard it as an era of the technology. On the other hand, we also faced, we are still facing the COVID pandemic, and during the COVID pandemic, we realized the importance of the technology. So both playing a very important role in our education training sector. So today, technology also play a very important role in our life. It's seen as a basis for growth of an economy. Okay, so which means that an economy which is poor in technology can never grow in today's scenario, which you easily understand. If we do not adopt technology in our process, in our operations, in our delivery, we will never survive, and we will not achieve the target of the economy. So that's very important. We have to use technology in order to achieve the target of the economy, in order to support the operations of our TVET institution, in order to provide the technology in our teaching and learning process. So therefore, the impact of technology can be felt in every possible field, such as TVET. Okay, every possible field, maybe like education, maybe like a technical vocational education and training, maybe in the sector of the you can say service sector, you can say hospitality, any medical sector, any sector you can see technology impacting all around the world. So that's why technology is important. Now we have to understand what is technology. Technology, if you see, technology is an objects. Okay, these are the objects, which means it consists of the tools, it consists of the machines, it consists of the instruments. It should have weapons, appliances, which means the physical device of the technical performance, which provide the technical performance with the help of the physical device. So it's an object. Technology is also a knowledge, which means that the know-how behind technological innovations. Right now, we are providing you the knowledge how you are going to use technology in order to bring innovation in your delivery, in your teaching and learning process. Technologies activities. What do you mean by it? It's include what people do, their skills, their methods, their procedures. If you more specifically talk about the in TVET sector, what kind of skills do you have in order to use the technology, what method you are going to adopt to reach your learner, what is the procedure. So that is, these all are activities which directly belongs to the technology paradigm. Then the last one is that technology is a process, which means that begins with a need and ends with a solution. Okay, just I mentioned in my first slide that uh, uh, we are in the era of the 21st century skills. Oh, sorry, 21st century. Similarly, we are facing the pandemic, which means there is a need. Okay, so for that need, we have to start, and there is an end, and end is a solution. So technology is a process. So that's the understanding of the need of the technology and what is technology. Now we are moving why technology is important in the TVET sector, TVET context. So now we are discuss one by one the role of the TVET with regard to the picture of the human. If you see normally in each of the country, in each of the CPSC member state around the world, we have vocational qualification framework, and each country has different levels of the vocational qualification framework. Like if you start from qualification framework level 1 till level 8, some of the countries start from 0 to 7, 0 to 8, depends. So each country has nowadays vocational qualification framework. But how these levels are developed, how these levels are addressing the needs of the employer, we have to understand. Like if you see on the right hand side of the picture, that's stats the blue collar worker and the white collar worker. We are discussing too many times the blue collar worker and the white collar worker. So from the level 1 till level 5, you see from level 1 level 5, what we are trying to develop, what we develop for our learner, we more focus towards the practical vocational skills and the operating skills. How you are going to operate at the workplace environment. We are teaching in such a way. So that's produce the blue collar worker, which means the manual worker and the labor force of the industry requirements. Then if you go a little bit up, upward mobility from level 6 to level 8, we are providing opportunity to learner. They have to think how to do the analysis, how to do the decision making, how they will lead the overall process. So that's the 21st century skills, and that's produce the white collar worker. That's which means that thinking in the decision making. So that's the current practice in our context, in our scenario. Means from level 1 to level 5, we will develop curriculum competency in such a way we more focus towards the practical vocational skills and the operating skills which produce blue collar worker. And if you go a little bit vertical up from 6 to 8, we are trying to produce white collar worker. But if you see on the left hand side of the picture diagram, we should focus in such a way that from level 1 to level 8, there must be a part of the practical vocational skills as well as the decision makings and analytical skills should be there from start of the level 1. That supports the 21st century skills, that supports the needs of the employer, which means that we have to focus towards the lifelong learning and the learning society. And if it is only possible if we have this kind of mechanism. Means from level 1 to level 8, there is a partial skill sets of the practical vocational skill, and the partial are from the decision making and the analytical skills should be there. So that's the needs of the that's the needs of the employer, needs of the industry, and we have to focus that side. So that's the picture of the human with regard to role of the TVET one. I hope you understand the diagram. Number 2 is the role of the TVET2. That's the overall objectives, and the overall objective is that we know that in our education training sector, we have two kind of streams. Like one is the education, and that brings towards the higher education, towards the provision of the more technical detailed knowledge, and that's the basis for the lifelong learning skills. And on the other hand, we have a tech training and the skill development part. Okay, so if we see the diagram, in it has two axes. One axis for the education, that's vocational colleges, another axis for the technical skill development, and there is a center, you see the professional line, which shows that we have to develop our competencies in our program in such a way that address both of the sectors, like the training, skill development, and the education sector, which means that these are directly linked to each other. Okay, so if we support this line, we have to develop our overall objective basis of this line, which means that we are determining the vocational training, we are determining the curriculum framework in such a way we are addressing both education and the training skill development, as well as we are focusing towards the efficiency of the work processes, and that we are focusing towards the quality of outcome and the repetitive skills training. So these we have to focus, we have to develop our program in such a way the overall objectives should be achieved. In the role of TVET 3, that's the vocational directives. That's which directives you all know, that's directly related to the teaching and learning methods and approaches. So vocational directives which means we have to adopt the input and action planning process. We are trying to adopt by involving industry, getting input when we are developing our directives, we are developing curriculum, but we have to institutionalize this process. For example, like we have a work process in the, if you see in the diagram, in the work process, you have to do the participatory planning. Okay, how you will do the participatory planning? If you see this arrow, in this arrow, there are number of inputs are there. Input shows that the experience-based learning through action orientation, and you can get input from the employer, from the relevant stakeholder, from your maybe passed out graduates. You can get the input from them, and then you can improve the work process. Then you will reach the final goal, and then you will see the reflection. Once again, do the same process. If things are improved, no need to go to the again. If things is not improved, check the reflection and do once again. So which means that in the role of TVET 3, the work task and the work process is best experiential learning, combination of input and action planning. We have to adopt the input and action planning, take input from the relevant stakeholder, do the action planning, then participatory planning and decision making reflection is a basis for the lifelong learning skills. So if you want to support lifelong learning skills, because nowadays without the lifelong learning setup in your TVET institution, you will never survive. So it is very important, you have to do the participatory planning and decision making and reflection as a basis for the lifelong learning. And the another benefit for this input and action planning is that will support the development of other competencies such as critical thinking skills, problem solving skills, innovation skills. That's the advantage of the role of TVET 3. So we have to focus towards the combination of the input and action planning process. Now, the last one is the role of TVET 4, how you will bring the innovation in the curriculum, how you will bring the innovation in your teaching learning process. That's very important, we have to understand. So this is what is the current practice, how we are adopting the current practice is that we have world of the work. Okay, world of the work, which means that labor market, enterprise, we have employers, we have chambers, and this is the world of the work. And from the world of the work, they are experiencing number of different work tasks. They have machinery and equipment, they have processes. How these world of the work is getting innovation, they are trying to get innovation from technical universities, from the university engineering department. These technology provide the innovation in the in the processes, in the task. These labor market adopting these technology from there, and that supports the components of the like you can say industrial revolution 4, that supports the innovation in the industry. So which the overall objective is that the world of work is right now transforming from the help of the university and engineering department sides. And on the other hand, TVET system, how TVET system is adopting, transforming. TVET system is always getting information from the world of the work. They are trying to get what is the requirement of the world of the work, how you bring the innovation. So we should act like the tech university and engineering department. Like if you see this dotted arrow, which means that it should be two-way directions. we also get information from there. We have to provide latest trends, later innovation in the work tasks, in the work processes to the industry. Then the trust of the industry will be built, and industry will support you. And that is the only possible way. You have to bring the innovation in your curriculum. You have to bring the innovation in your teaching and learning process. You have to bring the innovation in your operations. If you do not bring the innovation, you will never survive. So that's of the role of TVET 4. Now, how you will bring the innovation? You should use the technology in TVET. That's very important to understand. Okay, so plans should clearly identify learning goals to be achieved through the technology. You have to devise a plan, and that plan should define and identify the learning goals in order to achieve the goals with the help of the technology. Technology should support instructional learning goals integrated into teaching and learning process. How you are going to use technology that can support your overall teaching and learning process, that will integrate in the teaching and learning process. And the technology should be used for the challenging long-term projects that promotes students thinking skills. So that's why we have to use technology. That is the reason we have developed this webinar for you to support you bring innovation in teaching and learning process with the adaptation of a learning management system. Now you understand the concept, you understand the role of the TVET, how you are going to use technology in your teaching and learning process in order to enhance the students' thinking skills, students' innovation skills. That's very important. So there are three pillars of the e-learning for institutions. Okay. Number one, because it's overall supports the distance learning or the e-learning or the online learning. So these three pillars are: number one is the learning resources, number two is the learning management system, number three is the learning environment. All right. So learning resources, what are the learning resources? Basically, these are the different documents, different sets of presentations, different sets of interactive contents like the web pages, slides presentation, wall documents, and the videos. And the second is the learning management system. First, you have to develop the learning resources. Then you need some kind of system where you can put all the learning resources. That system is called a learning management system, where you can do the course administration, where you can focus to the content delivery, where you can track the students' assessment in the performance. And the last important pillar is the learning environment. Okay, learning environment basically all about the infrastructure, where you need personal computers, different devices, servers, connectivity, and so on. So these are the three important pillars. Okay, now we are going to discuss one by one each of the pillar. Number one is the resources. As I earlier mentioned, resources are basically your interactive content. Okay, and these content also called rich media content. And these content consist of the diagrams, photographs, audios and videos, document presentation files. So these are the rich media content file. Nowadays, number of organizations, they are more focusing towards to develop the interactive rich media contents. So these rich media content requires some kind of place where you put and save, and the learner can access. So these are the rich media content. Now there are a number of softwares to develop the rich media content, and these softwares you already know, like the PowerPoint. You can use PowerPoint presentation software to develop the presentation. You can use MS Word to develop the document file. You can use Adobe Photoshop to develop the to edit the diagrams and so on. You can use any other audio and video like the XP to develop the videos and so on. Similarly, we have softwares nowadays which is called authoring tools for course development. So here I'm giving you a little bit overview about the authoring tools for the course development. These tools are nowadays very popular, and the community, the TVET community are trusting too much on these tools to develop the interactive or rich media contents. So what is authoring tools? Authoring tools just a software. Okay, it's just a software that allows the integration of the media objects and the creation of the interactive learning material. That's the benefits of the authoring tool. That's the benefits of the software. You can use the software to easily develop the interactive learning material for your learner. It creates e-learning content in a shorter time and easy way with a reduced cost. So that's another advantage of the authoring tool software. Means with the help of this software, you can easily develop the e-learning distance learning programs, and those distance learning programs can be placed at the learning management system in a shorter time and easy way with the reduced cost. And the last one is allow non-programmers means if you do not have the like the programming skills, no worry, you can easily use these kind of authoring tools to create your multimedia contents. So that's all about authoring tools. Now you know the authoring tools, how to develop the learning resources with the authoring tools. Now moving towards the types of the authoring tools. There are three types of the authoring tools. Number one is the PowerPoint plugin. Number two is the desktop install tools. Number three is the cloud-based tools. So these are the different types of the authoring tools. So number one is the PowerPoint, which means that nowadays every TVET professional, every single user, he has an expertise how to use the PowerPoint in order to develop the presentation for their learner. So authoring tools provide your service. You can download the software, and that software can be easily plug in with your PowerPoint. And now when you're designing your presentation, you can use the tools of the authoring tools, because when you plug in, a ribbon will be added to the PowerPoint menu. Okay, and that ribbon can be used to design distance learning program, to design learning resources. Second is the desktop install tools. Okay, you can easily download the software and you can install the tool in your computer. That's an access to. Third is the cloud-based tool. So cloud-based tool is installed in a remote location. Means you need an internet connection in a laptop to access the software. So that's a cloud-based tool. So there are now just example I want to share over here. What are the very good authoring tools are there? Okay, the most popular nowadays is the Adobe TVET. Okay, and another one is the Storyline. Okay, Storyline authoring tool. So these are the very popular authoring tools, and if you go and explore it, they have a very good community, and the community is supporting each other by helping, by providing number of training session. So you can go and check these authoring tools, and these authoring tools will help you to develop the learning resources. Now you understand the one of the pillar, the learning resources. The second pillar is the environment, which means what is the physical infrastructure is required in order to set up a distance learning program or e-learning program. So that's the second pillar is the environment. So the e-learning environments basically a system that should have devices, multiple devices, and devices are independent and should be optimized for a minimal internet bandwidth with 24/7 accessibility. So if you see the e-learning environments is required internet connection, okay, with multiple devices. Okay, like maybe some of the learner they are using phone, some of the learner they are using tablet, some of the learner they are using laptop, some of the learner they are using a personal computer, some of the so these all things are connected with the server. You see, that's a server. So you have to the set up environment for the distance learning program. You need a server. Okay, sometimes we use a cloud-based server. We are trying to get the resources from the cloud-based services. Okay, SaaS, software as a service, and sometimes the organization they are setting up their server there in their own institutions. So that's the overall environment for the distance learning or the e-learning. So that's a cloud-based server. I already mentioned because in order to install a learning management system, you need a server. Server may be placed in your institution, or server may be placed in your at remote locations. So it's up to you. If you have resources, if you have infrastructure, you can set up in your institution. If you do not have the resources, you can ask from third party, and you can install your server at the remote location with the help of the technology, internet. So that's the cloud server setting. Okay, that's a very technical things. I'm not going to discuss. Just I want to give you a little bit idea about it. Okay, now moving towards the local servers. That's the example of the local server. That was the cloud server. If you set up in your own institution, definitely you need an institutional local network. In local network should be connect with the internet, and then after that the learner can access the learning management system through the internet at anywhere at any time. So that's all about the learning environment. The last one is the system. Okay, the last one is the system. That's the learning management system we are going to talk about. Okay, the learning system is institutional. E-learning is integral because it creates a virtual environment for enlistment, student performance tracking, and distribution of the learning resources. So why we need learning system? As I earlier mentioned, during the pandemic time, one of the reason the face-to-face classes is very difficult nowadays. So you have to create a virtual environment. For the virtual environment, you need a learning system. So in the learning system, you can place your learning resources, your course information, your interactive content, and you can track the performance of the learner, okay, with the help of the tracking mechanism of the learning management system. So that's all about learning system. So we have different types of the learning systems now. Web-based learning systems. So web-based learning system are social learning tools, collaborative tools, social learning networks, learning, and the learning management system. So social learning tools are the online application that adds an e-learning environment by resource sharing and enhanced communication. Okay, so maybe you can use the Google Drive that can help you to share your resources with your learner. Okay, that's one example. Then social learning networks are online learning application that mimics social apps with basic learning management capabilities like online tests or quizzes, assignments, submission, and surveys. Like the example is the mentimeter.com. I shared many times to my trainees. So that's the social learning network example. Then the learning management systems. Okay, so learning management system is a dynamic websites that's fully customized institutional support the e-learning requirements. And learning management system can be installed in a local or the cloud server, as we already shared with you in my previous slides. It can also be customized to have all feature of social learning networks with more advancing e-learning features like real-time grade results, dynamic grade sheets, system backup, resource sharing, and so on. So that's the learning management system. So these are the some example of the social learning tools. I already gave you example in my previous slides, like the Skype, Facebook, Google Drive, Google Hangouts, Mentimeter, Blogger. There are a number of examples are there. It's totally depends on the trainer. It's totally depends on the learner. When and what is the requirement of teaching process? Basis of the requirement, you have to decide which tool you are going to use. Okay, so it's totally depends. All right, for example, you are really interested to conduct a TNA. Maybe you can use the mentimeter.com to conduct the TNA of your learner, TNA training analysis. So that's the example. So it's totally depends on the context. So what is the real context is there? Based on the context, you have to use the social learning tools. Now moving towards the learning management system. So if you see, we have different learning management system in the market, and the most popular are Moodle, Blackboard and Canvas. Okay, so Moodle is a open source software, it's a free of cost, and the second one is the Blackboard. Blackboard is not an open source learning management system. It's you have to pay it, but very popular, and uh, different organization institutions, they are using Blackboard because the beauty of the Blackboard is that it has 3-level security. Okay, 3-level security. Okay, we'll discuss later on. And the Canvas. Now, to give you a real touch, how these systems are looks like the Moodle. When you log in, I know all of the participants who are attending this program, they definitely visited our CPSE on course digital learning system. So that CPSE on course learning system is set up and built on Moodle. Okay, so we use Moodle to version 2.6, and that supports the responsive layout and supports the HTML5. Okay, so because when you develop the interactive content with the help of the authoring tools, okay, these content automatically convert the file into HTML formats. So no need to go in detail how to use the HTML like this. It is done by the system or software itself. So our CPSC on-course platform is basically, if you see, it's set up and we build on the Moodle version 2.6. But we use the responsive layout. If you see the responsive layout in our Moodle system, it's totally different as a normal Moodle. Because if you see the normal Moodle with the on the Junimio.com, you will find that there are different advertisement is there, ads are there, and that will not give the user-friendly environment, and the layout is not very good. If you see on the CPSC, we have customized the Moodle, and as per our requirement, we design the responsive layout. Okay, the responsive layout, which means that like we have the, if you see, we have number of different tabs about the program materials and task and project works, online examination, and the course evaluation. So and we install this our own course platform in a remote server and on bluehost.com. We didn't install in our local server. So the learning management system, especially the Moodle, basically it's a web server, and it has a server-side script that can interact with the database. Okay, and the server-side script support by the Apache. Apache is a server. Okay, and it supports the HTML pages with server-side scripting with the help of the PHP, and it supports the database of the MySQL. Okay, so these are the technical things, but you know a little bit about the or the back what is going on the back side of the Moodle. So the overall structure of the Moodle is that if you see there we have a Moodle sites, okay, just like CPSC on course platform. Okay, that's the overall Moodle size, and in the Moodle side you will find number of different categories. Okay, categories like if you go in the TVET institution, we have number of departments. Okay, electrical department, civil department, mechanical department. So these, you can say, these are the categories, and each department we have number of courses. Okay, so similarly you can see category 1 we have number of courses, category 2 we have number of courses, category 3 we have number of courses. So if you see on the CPSC Moodle structure, we have a CPSC on course platform, and in the CPSC on course platform we have different categories, and we have like the in-country program categories, we have regional program categories, we have customized programs, we have APAC accredited trainings, we have special programs like this webinar. So these are different categories, and under these categories we have number of courses. Okay, so in this way you have to structure your learning management system. What are the feature of a Moodle? Okay, it's allow learner to do the self-registration in the enrollment. You can easily distribution of the program material to participants are shared through the Google Drive to save virtual private server resources. You can do the real-time grade results and grade book. You can do the online submission of task and project work. You can do the online exam with the time limit and do the program evaluation. So these are the feature of the Moodle especially the CPSC own course platform. How you will set up the Moodle? Just free of course. So the first way, you have to create an account on genomio.com. Okay, but the drawback is that when you will set up a Moodle on the genomio.com, it supports services with the help of the online ads. So I mentioned earlier, when you will use genomio.com, the ads will display, and the ads will not give the good visibility, good user friendly environments. So that's one is the create an account on the genomio.com. Second is you can create your local web server. Third, you can just use the cloud server, and you can use the web hosting service in order to install your learning management system. So these are the three methods. Now, for the Moodle, we have already demonstrated. We already shared you multiple times in our different programs. Today we are going to introduce to Blackboard. Okay, so that's a website for the genomio.com. Now Blackboard, it's a learning management system. Okay, and we are practically demonstrate you. We are giving you overview today. That's a new tool for our TVET professional. And the disadvantage of the Blackboard is that it is not a free like open source software. It's not a free, just like Moodle. But for the security wise, it is a very secure system. It has 3 levels of the security, which means that security at the administration level, security at the course level, security at the user level. Okay, user level means a user cannot access other courses which is not allowed by the trainer. A user cannot access other material which is available on the Blackboard. But if you go on the Moodle does not provide the very secure system. Okay, so that's the advantage of the Blackboard. That's why different people, different organizations, they are using Blackboard. Okay, so Blackboard is a learning management system that allows instructor to compile content for students to access online, including videos, quizzes, discussion boards, multimedia which support the rich media content or the learning resources, and the collaborations. So that's Blackboard site. If you want to interested to access the Blackboard, you have to go blackboard.com. In the blackboard.com, you see it supports teaching and learning. It supports engaging your community. What are the service they are providing? If you are really interested to access the Blackboard, you have to request them and try a free Blackboard. Okay, they will provide you a username and passwords. So now I'm going to demonstrate you how a Blackboard is look like and what are the features are there and how you can set up a simple course on the Blackboard. So I'm going to stop screen sharing right now. So I'm going to share my another screen. All right, I hope screen is visible to all of you. So now in order to access to get the access of the Blackboard, very simple, you have to type www.blackboard.com. Okay, blackboard.com. If you go to the blackboard.com, it will open the website, and in the website you see if you are using first time, definitely you do not have the access of the Blackboard learning management system that is installed remotely. You have to ask them, request them, and try the Blackboard. Just click it here. Okay, when you will click, okay, all the information like a get a personalized demo. If you have to request a demo, they will provide a demo. Experience Blackboard collaborate, how you will do the collaboration with your learner. Okay, and then here you can request a free trial as well. Okay, so if you are interested to talk and export of the Blackboard, just click here. So the best way you have to request a demo. Okay, because I already have a username and password for it, so When you will request a demo, they will send a credential to you, okay, on your email address. So you can just access the Blackboard with the help of the username and password. So they will provide you another link. Another link is the Blackboard dot courses course site okay.com. Okay, that's where they set up, they install the Blackboard learning management system. Okay, here you can use your username password. So my username password is already logged in here because I already have access of it. So just put your username and password and just sign in. When you will put your credential, you easily go to the learning management system on the especially Blackboard learning management system. So that's when you will logged in, it will directly take you to the learning management system, Blackboard learning management system. You see, so that's the first screen of the Blackboard learning management system. Okay, so that's the institutional page. Just that's a message, I have to close it. Okay, that's an institutional page. Okay, this institutional page has the fact, frequently asked question related to students, frequently asked question related to instructor. Why they put over here? Because they have the Blackboard software learning management system stakeholder owners. They they recently switched to the new version. Okay, previously they have a classical version, they have a ultra version nowadays. So the ultra version is very advanced version as compared to the classical version. So that's why they put these things over here. If you are really interested to know what is the difference between the ultra version and the classical version, what are the feature of the ultra version and the classical version, you can go and just click here and read it. So that's about the institution page. You can change the logo easily. That's done over here. So next is the activity stream. Okay, second, these, if you see on the left hand side, these are the features of the Blackboard learning management system, or these are the important objects. Okay, like institution page, that's the profile of the instructor, like the Mohammad Ghani, like then the activity stream, then the courses, organization, calendar, messages, grades, and the assist. They are going to assist you, help you, and the tools. So these are the different features or objects of learning of Blackboard learning management system. If you click on the activity stream, it will give you what you have done since the start of the Blackboard. Okay, so all the information is over here till the minute. Okay, till the last minute they will provide you. So what you have done, everything is, the track record is available over here in the activity stream link. Okay, all what I have done so far, everything is over here. Okay, so it give you what a learner has done in your course. Every track information is available over here. Then we have a link for the courses. Then you want to organize different learner with different courses over here. Then there is a calendar. If you want to send messages to learner, you can use the message tab. If you want to grade your student, just click on the grades. And if you the tools, here are tools that if you click on the tools link, you will find there are four important tools. Number one is the content collection. Number two is the portfolio. Okay, so like if you are really interested to set up portfolio of your individual learner, you can click here, and you can, when you click, it's open the portfolio. Okay, and in the portfolio you have to click here. There's a link over here, create portfolio. When you click on the create portfolio, it will take over to there to create a portfolio. Okay, just put the title of the portfolio and description of the portfolio. Okay, when you will click like the, you can put a test folio. Okay, then you put this is a test portfolio. Okay, you just submit it. So they will create a one portfolio for you. So in this in this way you can create a portfolio. So right now they are asking getting started with the portfolio, take a tour. So I'm not going to take a tour right now, so no thanks. So our portfolio is ready. So in this way you can create a portfolio. Okay, so just close it right now. Then similarly here is the content collection. Okay, so if you go into the content collection, it will show the content of the course, it will show the content, institution content, it will show the library content. So what are the contents you have uploaded, what are the courses are there, everything is available over here. You see Industry Revolution 4.0 course, which I created myself, the size is 5.18, so everything, the content is over here. So if you really interested to see the content of any specific course, of any specific activity, you go and click over there. So now moving towards the courses. So in the courses, when we click in the courses, so you see the available, the existing courses will display. Okay, so these are the courses are there. Okay, these are the different courses. You can say templates is also there. If you see, these color shows that this is ultra ultra version of the Blackboard. If you see the only the only the white color, only the black color which shows the classical version of the Blackboard. Okay, so if you click any of the course, okay, I want to click this course, where I'll click this course. So this course will be open. So from this course, you see there are number of different objects are there: roster, course group, course in private, Blackboard collaborate, attendance, announcement, books and tools, question banks, student preview. Okay, so the number one is the roster. Roster means you are going to enroll your students, you are going to invite your students in this course. So click here. When you click on the roster, it will open a link. In that link, you see on the right hand side of the top there is a plus sign button. You have to click on the plus sign button. When you click on the plus sign button, it will open another page. In that page, you have to write down the email address of the learner, email address of the trainee. You just write down the email address like a.g.rajput1@gmail.com. Okay, you can write it, and you can when you write it, the send button will enable. Just click an email sent to the learner, and in the email, what is the preview of the email? That's the preview of the email. You see, it will send like this: Blackboard, and you are invited to join my course on the Ultra course, and the link of the enroll now, the link will be open. So if you click here, they will send a one email. Okay, so email is sent to the invitation email was sent. You see the message here. In this way, you can invite your learner, your students. So you can manage different groups in your course. You can another beauty of the Blackboard is that which you do not find out in the Moodle. It's provide you a joint session or the or you can say the course room. Okay, so the beauty is that when you are interested to collaborate with your learner, live collaborate, you can use this feature of the Blackboard. Okay, that's you cannot find in the Moodle. So if you click on, if you are interested to join session, click here in course room. When we click on the course room, it will open a like the video conferencing setup. Okay, that video conferencing setup allows you to do the synchronous learning with your learner. Your learner will also join, just like we are using right now Zoom. Okay, on the Zoom we are accessing, we are collaborating to each other. So similarly this feature allow you, okay, this feature allow you to collaborate with your learner, and the live as synchronous learning is possible. So that's the advantage of you see the Blackboard system. So here you see, you can do the, if you click in three dots, it's allow you to do the editing of the course setting. Okay, course room setting, which means that you can allow learner to unmute their microphone, to share their video, to share content. Okay, you can check the view room report. Okay, how many students joined, what they did done, what they share, their comments, everything you can check on the view room report. You can manage all session over here. you can record all the session. So that's the beauty of the Blackboard. Okay, so in this way, you can collaborate with your learner lively on the same learning management system that's not supported by the Moodle system. Then we have the announcement. If you are really interested to do the announcement, just click here on the create announcement, and in the create announcement feature is also there in the Moodle. Just you can type any type of announcement, and you can check the recipient, who are the recipient. Okay, this course member are the recipient, and you can type the message there, and just after that you can just save it. That will display to you to the course main page. Okay, the message, the announcement will be displayed the course message page. If you want to send an email to the recipient, just click here. It will also send a message to the learner. Okay, so that's possible. Just a plus sign you can use. So similarly, you can manage the question bank very easily. You can upload the questions. Okay, by clicking over here plus button, you can already develop one Word file, or maybe UTF-8 file extension, and you can just import all the question bank from here. Just click here. It will allow you to import all the questions bank, and that question bank will be uploaded to your course. So that's a student preview. So in this way you can add the books and tools material. Okay, and all the things you can easily do it. So that's beauty of the Blackboard's course sites. Blackboard learning management system. They develop in such a very user friendly environment, and the accessibility is very easy. You see these are the different links, like the course content, and these are the calendar, messaging, discussions, and the grade book, and the message, and the analytics. Everything, it's organized very well. So that's the overview of the Blackboard learning management systems. And after that, if you want to do the sign out, you can do the sign out. So I have to stop this screen sharing, share my another screen. So that's all about the overview of the Blackboard. I hope you got the idea. So thank you very much. If you have any question, any concern, the floor is open. You may ask right now. Otherwise, you can type the question in the chat box. We will respond. Thank you very much, dear participants.
Okay, Kaneji, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, highlighting us about the learning management system, showing different types of learning management system. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to request Mr. Bhatkar from LabTech to start your presentation. Please, sir.
Thank you very much, Sanyog, and great presentation there, Abdul. It was excellent, great grounding, and I think it's very important people understand a bit more detail about learning management systems. So, yeah, I've been involved with implementing Blackboard, Moodle, Canvas learning management systems since 2004. So, and that's around the world, especially in the UK, Africa, Middle East, and on the eastern coast of Australia. And it's very important people look at having a infrastructure in place, and that's something I'm going to touch base on here. And then just introduce you to what a possible TVET LMS may look like. And very different to what we are used to probably seeing as an academic LMS, and there is a difference. So I'm just going to stop sharing my video so you can concentrate more on what I'm showing. And so I'll just stop my video here. I'm then going to share my screen. And I'm going to to share my screen too, which why is it not showing? There it is. Just bear with me here. Okay. Can you see my screen okay now? I'm just going to turn off.
Yeah,
Okay, everyone
well,
see my screen?
sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see your this laptop academy
Yeah,
desktop.
great. Thank you. So
Yeah.
you can see my PowerPoint slide now? Yes?
Not now, not yet.
Ah, okay. Just hang on.
Yeah.
Normally it allows me to see both screens, but it's not allowing me because I run 3 screens here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just bear with me again. I'll try and share.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see my PowerPoint presentation now?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I mentioned, is that we're going to just look at, just giving you a bit of a background about possibly having a framework. I'm going to show you what a possible TVET LMS looks like. So having a digital TVET framework is very important, and that is that we need to look at the infrastructure and the info structure and the info culture. And why this is important, and as I said, this was touched on, Abdul really went into this in a little bit more detail on each individual one, but I'm just going to touch base on it again, and that is with the infrastructure, let's move my panel down here, is that we look at hardware, right? And by hardware, we're going to look at, are we going to, as is the users, be using it on smartphones, tablets, desktop PCs, on laptops and so on? What type of connections are available? And that connection is very important when we come to bandwidth. What bandwidth is required? We're always regularly benchmarking this. Each individual institution we work with are always benchmarking this. And then we look at the integration and support. And integration support is that, do you build a online ticketing system? And when you go to, and these days everything is going online, it's important that you have access to a support online ticketing and support system. And we build that and work with a lot of organizations around the world to make sure that that's very user friendly and people get replies. So again, I won't go into detail in this. As I said, I've only got half an hour. I'd rather spend time showing you the product. Infrastructure is when you look at the software. What are you going to use as your learning management system? That was touched on today. You've got so many to choose from, right? What platform is it going to run on? Is it going to be server-based, cloud-based? So different things you've got to look at there. What is the content? Okay, the material. Is it got to be interactive, videos, ebooks, and so on? We need to work all this out. And assessment tools. Is there any kind of sort of gaming assessment tools involved with it? Is it just straight quizzes? Is it interactive assessments? And when you get to this formative assessments, that's the difference between a TVET learning management system and an academic learning management system. It's when you get into the TVET sector, it's a skill. So it's got to be interactive assessments. Okay, then the info culture, what change management's got to be required? We spend a lot of time training teachers around the world. At the moment, I'm doing sessions in Malaysia, in South America, in Africa, and those sessions are changing the way people think as instructors, because it's important we spend time with the instructors before we even look at other students having access to this. Okay, so the change management, what has to change? We need to profile the teachers a little bit. It's not saying if you don't understand, you're not doing it, but we actually put them through about 12 hours of 4 sessions totaling 12 hours. Okay, capacity building. We want to, as I said, that works into the change management, build up the capacity. and then what policies need to be changed. I know, as an example, in the Philippines, they were very good in looking at changing policies very quickly, as soon as the pandemic started. And that makes a difference because policies can take a long time to change, right, in implementing these types of systems. So that was very important that you look at this. And I know, as I said, in the US, in South America, Africa at the moment, again, they changed policies, but it was great to see Philippines as an example grab hold of this very early and change some of their policies. And policies, I mean, how much is done online to how much is done face-to-face now. Again, very important. And curriculum, it was touched on there. Is it supplementary or is it built into the curriculum? And that works with your policy. If you need to change your curriculum, it takes time. But if it's supplementary, it does not. So you can make it this great content that you can get access to supplementary initially while you're actually changing policies to include it in the curriculum, as an example there. Again, each country is different the way it works, but we've got to look at this as an overall framework. So what is a TVET learning management system? And a TVET learning management system is using sort of skill-based gaming technology that's interactive, simulations, right? It can be delivered, we talk about that, delivered as numerous ways, whether it's a desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphone, can deliver it partially through augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. It can have a blended hybrid approach where you mix it with the practical hands-on, and it can be delivered, as I said, all this content is delivered through the TVET learning management system. It provides teacher and student performance data for managers and institutes, and has enabled learning on and off campus anywhere, anytime. But the highlight of a TVET learning management is the assessments, right? Formative assessments. You can keep doing this skill-based learning on the screen where they're interacting, right? Where rather than just listening to something on the screen, and they can keep doing it till they get 100%. Right? It's not so like saying, like when we have our pre and post tests or a final exam, post test, you might get 2-3 attempts at it, right? But with a formative assessment, you can keep practicing until you get 100%. Right? Then we look at what are the benefits of a TVET learning management system. It can lower costs by 50 to 75% compared to traditional methods because technology is changing so much. It's expensive to get that equipment in and lots of it. You might still need some of it, but not as much. And some of it you might not need if you can get good interactive digital content, right? Quicker implementation time, because quite often people don't have things, because I get back to, every country is different, the way they do things, right? The culture and the way they teach. So again, some people buy standard trainers off the shelf, but is it the right trainer? Where if you look at digital content, it can be customized a bit more. Okay, teacher support, very important. I'm going to do curriculum upgrading, very easy to upgrade your curriculum using online materials. Up-to-date material and performance monitoring. Monitoring the performance very quickly using a learning management system, whether it's school-based, institute-based, statewide, nationally, very easy to do. So how does it improve learning? Well, it's competency-based, and competency-based training has been around a long time, but in the TVET sector now, having some really good content is making that a lot easier. Enhanced, quicker learning, differentiated learning, deeper learning, because if it's something that's realistic, and that's where now, as I said, you can look at 3D models on the screen, you can watch a video, but you want to make it as realistic as possible when you get into this 3D gaming technology. And that allows, because of that technology, it allows you to be realistic. And that's because then it engages the student, but it deepens their learning. Flexible learning pathways, strengthens fundamental concepts. Again, we're not doing away with the hands-on thing, but it really strengthens their fundamental concepts. And I'll show you some results very soon. Transitional learning, skills cluster approach and cross-training. It's amazing how many people now, because of Industry 4.0, and then of course we're moving into Industry 5.0 now, is that people need to cross-skill and upskill. So this is very important too. And a lot more skilled training centres are doing this. I'm seeing it right through Southeast Asia now. People running these short courses for cross-skilling and upskilling, and that's fantastic to see. Right, formative assessment tools, we've touched on learning on demand, anywhere, anytime. Learning process similar to new work processes, Industry 4.0 already. And of course now, when you do the creativity side of it, that's moving into the Industry 5.0 when you're teaching people how to create something. Triangulation of learning for guiding the individual to learn what he has not yet clearly understood. Okay, so they can read an ebook, watch a video, but how do you know if they've really understood that? These days with online, you can interact with the screen and create a skill. So now I'm going to give you a live demonstration, and I'll just stop sharing again so I can know I'm going to get the right screen here, and I'll share again. And I'll hide my meeting control panel here. So here, this is just the front end. And the reason that is that, again, working with your Blackboards and your Moodles and your Canvas, and even if you look at some of the others around Udemy and people that offer these different MOOCs and that, you want to make it engaging and friendly and make it look warm. So that's where a lot of these learning management systems don't get to that stage yet. So we can put front ends on it, make it and customize it and brand it and look it nice every way you want. So here I log in and I'm just logging in, and then it will come up on the screen and say, well, I'm now logged in and I've got my courses. What are my courses that I'm enrolled in? These are my courses here. So then if I select the course that I'm enrolled in, right, it comes down here and tells me what type of web browser I need to run it on. If it's on a mobile phone, because over 50% of the users around the world now using learning management systems are using it on a smartphone. But we tell them we'll put it in landscape mode. It's a lot better. And then for the best learning experience, what are the steps? Well, you need to read the objectives. You need to take a pre-test, just one attempt. How much do you already know? All right. Then you look at your study. And as I said, it can be set up. And this is where Abdul explained, and it was excellent, is that you can make it and where it automatically, you can jump to each part of the learning management system, or they've got to finish one section of it before it'll allow them to go to the next section of it. Again, very customizable, very easy to do, but that's part of the training that, again, many organizations offer, and we spend a lot of time training administrators, right? Training the champions around the world, training the instructors before we even look at, the students. So, and then the study materials, the average nominal hours per a TVET topic these days in an online can be around 3.5 hours. Some might be 2, some might be 5. The average is around 3.5 hours. And the average time that people are spending is around 4 to 6 hours a week. And we survey these people regularly. I mean, if the Philippines is around, 4 to 6 hours on an average. You'll get people using it 10 hours a week, some 1 to 3 hours, but the average is around this 4 to 6 hours a week, right? But if you go back before the pandemic, it was probably only 1 hour, if that, okay? Step 4, take the post-test when you've completed step 3, which is going through the study material. We give people 3 attempts. You might give them 1, 2 attempts, right? If they get 80% or higher, they get a certificate of completion. I'm regularly getting emails because it's very active in Malaysia, Philippines, is regularly getting emails saying, oh, I can't locate my certificate of completion. Can you send it to me? And as I said, it's very easy to get. So we get our list of topics here. Again, this is Moodle based. It's 3.10. And some of the things that, again, that you look at with Blackboard, now Moodle 3.10 offers pretty well everything. They're very similar. Your roster, your attendance, and everything. It's all there in Moodle 3.10. And again, the only reason we use Moodle is it's a lot more used out there in the education industry around the world now. But as I said, I did work with Blackboard for 3 years when I was implementing systems in the UK. and it's very nice. So again, you know, it doesn't really matter. The other thing to look at is that you have various options, and that's why the TVET framework is very important. Is that, do you want to use an existing TVET learning management system? Do you want to use customize your own one? If you've got already one, the beauty these days is that you can output what they call LTI links. So people just supply the links of the content to you, right? So there's various ways that we can look at there. Again, here we can make it so it's friendly. You've got pictures to drive it and go into the content, or you've got a normal menu system down the left-hand side here. So again, you can do it two ways. You've got a menu system, or you can just click on the pictures here. So for instance, if I click on, this is one example, air conditioning, refrigeration, right? A semi-hermetic compressor. I would go through and look at my learning objectives, read my learning objectives. Again, we have what we call here in this blue stripe, it's called a breadcrumb trail. So you can, rather than hit the backspace or go to your, I call this a little hamburger symbol here in the blue, but you can go back this way here. So I've been through my learning objectives. I now want to take the pre-test, right? Continue my last attempt. I've got 20 questions here. It's randomized questions, randomized answers to the questions. So it stops a lot of those people thinking, oh, I'll just sit next to one and we'll do it together, right? It doesn't work that way, right? Then I would go in and look at my study materials. So my study materials, look, I went to the pre-test, sorry. I'd look at my study materials. I have a complete glossary. Very important these days that you have a complete glossary, right? You have, this is an online book, but it's maintained and updated all the time. Make sure you have, the technology is changing so much, you need subject matter experts always maintaining an update. Put an index on it so you can jump to different sections, okay? So that's important. And again, it opens up in different learning management systems, you can embed this, but we find by opening it up in a different tab, and that's an option within your learning management system. Do you want to embed this so it opens up within it, or open as a new tab? We find, again, opening as a new tab because you can keep it open, right? So you can always jump back to it while doing it. So here, then I would go into my different things here, like I want to understand the different components. This is cloud-based at the moment, so you have different ways of delivering it, again, which Abdul touched on. You can have it running as teacher-led only, so he's just got it on his computer on a screen. You can have it so it's on the local area network at the school. You can have it on a mobile trolley. You can have it cloud-based. This is cloud-based. Runs from the cloud out of Singapore. Again, being when you move into interactive 3D gaming technology, anything like that, it's important you understand what type of server and what the setup of that server in the cloud is. All right? You can't just say, I'll just open a cloud account and put it on there if you're starting to get into using this technology, because you've got to look at, it's important of the caching that server uses, how many cores it has, is it a SSD drive that it uses, and all these different things come into it. Okay, so here I can click on different here and I get an description, explanation here. I can rotate it around and look at it from different angles. Right, so I get a description here of different components and look at them. Again, I can leave that tab open. I can look at how it is assembled and disassembled. And again, I'm operating this either from a mouse. I can operate it from my touchpad on my laptop, on my smartphone, and even on my laptop if it's touch screen, I can operate it. So here, if I touch the screen, which mine is a touchscreen laptop, I can then say, I want to see how this is disassembled. I can do step by step. I can do automatic, right? So watch it do it step by step and label it and do it all at once. And then I can watch it put it back together, right? So here, when it puts it back together, sometimes you have a part assembly before it assembles it all together. So see here, it actually assembled two components. Again, here it's going to assemble more than two before it actually puts it into the main component. Okay, so again, they understand how things, this is interactive, how things assemble, disassemble, and of course, how does it operate? Right, again, you can get great videos, but having an operational simulation. So how does this really operate now? So when your learning management system, very important to look at the different learning elements. So here again, I can speed it up, I can rotate it around, look at it from different angles. All right, turn the suction gas off, discharge gas off. Okay, so again, they're learning something very important there. And of course, my formative assessments. I have a location assessment, I have a reference assessment, and this is where I said they can keep doing these till they get it 100% right. You know, I want to learn how to assemble this, right? That's a skill, right? So it makes it so much easier. In the Philippines, we're hearing some of the teachers are saying it's reduced the amount of time in their workshop by 30 to 40%. So here, I'm going to touch the screen, I'm going to drag and drop this over here and put it in here, and it says, good job, it's in the right location. And you've got to put it not only here, so now I'm dragging this, right? Good job. But if I drag this and put it here, it says wrong component. Now, if I grab the right component and put it somewhere, it will say it's in the wrong position. So everything you've got to do, you've got to put it in the right position. And that's a skill, learning how to assemble, disassemble. And then, of course, they do their final assessment. But in the learning management system now, as I said, very important, that you can look at grades. Right, so any of you can set them up in groups and classes, same thing, just like any learning management system. You can very quickly look at activity. You can look at the average pre-test and average post-test results. Okay, so you can look at the number of participants and how active they've been. As I said, I'm not going to go that into detail, but again, it's very important. And all this, you want to export, so you can export it in any format. You can export it out into a spreadsheet, the results, which a lot of our users do around the world. So now I'm going to go back into my PowerPoint presentation, because what I want to show you is what are the needs of the learner of the 21st century. Okay, the needs of the learner of the 21st century is using, you've probably heard of the 4 C's, being collaboration, communication, creativity, and the critical thinking. Now there's a 5th one, and that's competency. So there's 5 C's we're going to look at. So what we look at is the needs of the learner, is that we've got to move into what the, and I'll jump, oh, I didn't have the learning elements. I thought I had them on here, I apologise. Is that the learning elements are very important. And that is that we look at the methodology that you're going to use to adopt the 21st century learning. Again, I think I took that slide out just due to the time frame that we've got here. Okay, so LabTech Academy itself, I've been involved with for 3 years now with LabTech and bringing expertise from around the world as subject matter experts. And in 9 months now, LabTech has gone to 156 countries around the world. The darker patches are where have the most users. I'm talking tens of thousands of users. So Philippines leads the way. Then we've got Malaysia, dark up here into Pakistan, and we've got India now, it's getting darker, US, but again, 156 countries around the world. Now, this is made up of not just students, it's made up of teachers. The teachers, instructors, professors around the world make up over 11% of the users. The students and the learners are making up around 78%. Okay, then the remainder is made up of industry, DIY, people just wanting to learn themselves. So here's an interesting thing I got from the learning management system, and this was done as of the 5th of February. So as of the 5th of February, this is grade averages across everyone for these 3 topics, right? Whether it's a teacher, whether it's an instructor, a trainer, a learner, right? These 3 topics had 4,853 users in air conditioning and refrigeration. And you look at the pre-test result of 5.07, after they've been through and done the material in the learning management system, 9.86 post-test. Okay, cold room refrigeration, 4.54, 9.61. So here, electrical, 6,954 users did these 3 topics. Look at the DC motors pre-test, 4.11. After they've been through the material, 9.08. So it's not just about, because it's engaging, it's realistic, there's results are proving that they're working. And the other interesting thing is that we're using this technology to upgrade the knowledge of the way teachers prepare their lesson plans. Okay, and a learning management system is very good for that, making sure that when you implement it, that you've got all this, professional development built into it too. So online virtual TVET and learning management systems, if anyone's interested at the moment, and that is something we've got in collaboration with CPSC, is that we can give you 3 months access is normally $58 US, right? For CPSC member countries, valid for the next 14 days, will give you 3 months access for only $14. Right, so you can, any of this, if you're interested in either automotive or HVAC, or at least learning how to play around with the learning TVET LMS, right, and see what it looks like and all that, $14 for 3 months. And here's the coupon code. So again, if any of you want to take a screen capture or a photo of this, right, they're the coupon codes that you can use to get 3 months access for $14, which is normally $58. And you get a feel. I said you can use PayPal or credit card, either or. And it's a great option. We've never done this deal before. It's something that we've been in discussions. Thank you very much to CPSC and our collaboration with and working with the member countries. So again, that's a great offer available there. And I'm just going to go back to showing you something quickly on the TVET LMS. And that is, I'm going to log out. And in here, there's a thing called shop on labtech-academy.com. So you'll see there 3 months, it's got 58, limited offer 40. You're getting this for 14. All right, $14 for 3 months access. That's the automotive and the HVAC. Okay. Now, if you want to look at more information, if you click on courses, you've got automotive here. It'll go down and scroll down. It tells you all the topics. All right, all the topics there. All right, I've got info here that gives me more information. And then when I log in, and this is important when you're setting up your learning management system, I mentioned about help. So again, we've got submit a support ticket, view support tickets, because I'm logged in as admin, and search support tickets, right? So we've got built in here a support and ticketing system. And that's very important when you do anything relating to online, okay? You can monitor the support that's coming back from your learners, right? And just down here is we've got frequently asked questions. So that's pretty well it from me. So hopefully you've all learnt and picked up something there. I thank you for your time and look forward to helping any of you implement your learning management systems or again, helping you look at different ways. Remember, it's very important to have this digital TVET framework. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Brad sir, for providing us insight on how to use learning management system and how to use virtual online TVET in TVET education, and showing us different automation, animation, and 3D picture, how TVET education can be enhanced through the LabTech services. Even he showed us the website of LabTech and courses, and even the cost involved for using the facility. So thank you for that. It's wonderful. Now I'd like to request our Director General, Dr. Ram Lamisani, to close this today's session.
Thank you. I think before to close, we can welcome 3 permanent questions. Okay.
Okay.
So you can allow 3 questions from just 3 questions. Okay.
Okay. So please, distinguished participant, please 3 questions, very, very pertinent and very relevant. You can ask to Mr. Brad. Sir, there is a Brad, sir, there is a one question. Can you recommend useful plugins for Moodle?
There's so many plugins for Moodle. It depends on what type of plugin they want. Like an example, you can plug in your Zoom meetings into Launch from within Moodle, right? There's plugins for your LTI links. Again, it all depends on what you want to achieve. Just like Moodle, any element, they all have plugins. So yes, it's a good question, but yeah, there's thousands of plugins available for Moodle. Depends on what you want to achieve, but yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, dear participant, please, this is the time for questioning. If you
a question about share our online training for free. We do an introduction session, which is like introduction to LabTech Academy. It's like what I've just done today, but it goes for 2 hours instead of 30 minutes. And that's something that we've done before with CPSC. We're probably due to do it again, I think, and happy to do that, or direct with any of the CPSC members, where it's a 2-hour session. That one is free, and you can also get 14 days free access to some of our content, but it's only 2 topics, right? So there is a free 14-day one, just to get access to 2 topics, which is on our website, labtech-academy.com, which I'll put in the chat there for people now. So there you go. I'll just put in the chat what the website is. Yes, there is about proctor students while they're taking an exam. So good question there. That is implemented very easily within Moodle. Blackboard does it anyway. So yeah, there also is another way of doing that, and that is you put a classroom management system in place alongside your learning management system, right? And that does the same thing. In actually does it a lot better than a learning management system, is having a classroom management system. Any more questions?
There is one more. Is there a plugin where you can proctor students while they are taking an exam?
Yeah, that's the one I just answered there about you can do it in Moodle or Blackboard or whatever learning about, but there is a plugin, but you can also have a classroom management system that does that and does it a lot better.
Okay. So I think we don't have any more questions. So thank you, Brad, sir, once again for answering the question. Now I'd like to request Dr. Ramed Lamitsani to close this session.
Okay, thank you, Sanyogji. First of all, on behalf of Colombo Plan Staff College, I would like to thank our great speaker, 2 great speakers, Engineer Abdul Ghani Rajput and Sir Brad Kerr from LabTech, and all the distinguished participants from different countries to join this webinar despite your busy schedule. And I would like to thank to my team who are behind the scene to facilitate this program. Yeah, the main purpose of this program was to make awake all of you who are involving in the TVET learning systems, like a teachers, manager, high-level manager or mid-level manager, institute head, whatever. Because COVID-19 taught us a lot. We have to open our eyes in a different way. We cannot sleep in the name of COVID-19. We have to awake. We have to bring new learning environment in our institution, and we have to create something. Then only you can impart knowledge, skills, and attitudes towards your students. In the name of COVID-19, if you padlock your institutions and stay at home, the learning environment will collapse. That's why these programs might have awake you a little bit who have not awake yet. I know many countries, they have started a lot of innovative programs, digital and technology based program, online learning, online things. That's why we conducted this webinar, and our two speakers already mentioned about learning management system. So no need to explain a lot. So learning management system is a very important thing, web-based, especially in the context of pandemic, and there might be future other incidents as well. So we have to develop our blended learning environment. Do not rely only on face-to-face learning environment, our traditional environment. We have to create new. That's why in TVET system, don't see only traditional menu. You have to create new menu, new learning environment, new recipe. Then only your customer will satisfy. Otherwise, they will not come to you. So once again, thank you. Brad mentioned, the LabTech institution is a very, it is a private company, and as Brad mentioned, and one of our successful and very important partner for CPSC, and they are producing, they have been producing a lot of learning resources for many years, and in the COVID-19 case also they developed a lot. So that's why, as he mentions, you might have seen his presentations, and they have created a lot of things. So there is a saying in the market, we would like to do new work and new initiatives in TVET. They always raise TVET needs hands-on skills. We cannot conduct any program without physical training programs. That's not true. Yes, somehow that is true. But during the COVID context, if you develop or if you join or if you buy any like a interactive learning management system like LabTech developed or CPSC on course we have, that is a Moodle based. So you can use like a Moodle, you can use Moodle, or you can buy LabTech developed courses or learning management system. Even you can teach practical training online. Like you might have seen the mechanical related videos what Brad showed you. So even how to assemble, how to disassemble every part. Even online system you can teach more effectively, because each and every part of the machines and equipment we can teach. But during the face-to-face, for example, in auto mechanic training, when replaced to let's say wheel, then our students will take out the wheel. But in online, even they can see the inner part of the machines, equipment. That is more effective. That's why we can conduct practical classes even in the online system. That is the challenge for the traditional mindset, who are staying and who are sleeping without doing nothing. That's why this is a kind of things. But we need two important things. One is commitment management, top level management, and from your teachers. Second important, commitment in the sense of learning, and commitment in the sense of investment. So investment also nothing new. Like Brad already mentions, their package is for 3 months, $58 for one course. So if you are conducting 5-6 courses in your institutions, you can buy that. But in the name of like a CPSC, for CPSC member countries, they are giving $44 discount, and just they are offering with the $14. $14 means if you have to buy teaching materials physically, you have to spend a lot of money. So you can consider buying LabTech software or buying LabTech things, visiting their website, means that is also part of teaching material. So that $14, this is a good opportunity, and there is a provision for 6 months, 1 year also. So you can save a lot of money. No need to buy real practical equipment. You can do by this. That's why I mentioned your commitment and the dynamism of management is important. The money is nothing. It will be more cheaper. Online mode will be more cheaper than our physical training. So once again, thank you for LabTech for offering, a lot of discount. And yeah, if any institutions wants to take this lab tech teaching materials through LMS, please write them, go with them, and if you get any trouble to get discount, just write to me, and I can talk with Brad and others friend. We have a very good connection with them, and we are conducting many programs to facilitate our member countries. And but considering the 21st century, we need 4 C's like creativity, collaborations, communications, cooperations, and competitiveness. That is very important. So to get that, we need innovations and digital technology. With the less investment, and one important thing, this type of software, we can teach many group at a time. Like batch wise, we can conduct 2 hours per one group, 2 hours per another group. So this willingness is important, and hope these two sessions of today's webinar supported a lot for your visioning and your commitment to implement online and blended learning environment in your institutions. With these words, I would like to thank all of you for your great participations. Today we have 196 participants from different countries, not only from CPSC member countries, from around the globe. And if you need this type of, during the initial stage last year, we conducted a lot of webinar, but now most of the countries, their office has been opened. That's why we are not conducting many webinars, but we will come time to time like this, very prominent areas, like on 11th March also, we have one webinar. So that is in another topic. So you can register through online through CPSC website, and so please visit the lab tech things, and there are many others. So you can utilize. Be ready to use that. And another important things, as a manager or top leader of the institutions, you have to train your instructor how to use online things. How there are thousands of material available in the online website, but how to get that is very important. Information is the power. If our instructors and teachers couldn't get information about the online materials, they can't implement. Always they blame to the management. I don't have book, we don't have materials, we don't have lab, we don't have classroom, we don't have internet. But we have to prepare them how to collect these resources. Okay. With these words, thank you very much for your participation, and thank you for the 2 great speakers, and thank you for LabTech, and especially Brad for providing time to us and sharing very valuable information. And thank you for my CPSC team and entire member countries of the CPSC and all the participants for participating this. And if you will successfully complete your online system registrations and everything, you can get certificate. You can download webinar participant certificate as well. Please do that. And with this, thank you very much. And I would like to close this session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. See you in the next
Thank
webinar on
you.
11th
Okay,
March.
thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
director and other
Have a great day.
participants. And okay,
Thank you, Brad, sir.
have a nice journey with the COVID
Yeah.
techno innovation. All the best.